Madden holiday is here and we will play all night. Calling sick and sound sincere, in tackles will delight. The fridge is packed with drink and meat, the taste of victory sure is sweet.
So, some Super Bowl, huh? Yep, one of the possible greatest of all time, but now kind of feels something like a distant memory. If I've learned anything, it's that I'll probably never pick against Kansas City ever again, or at least as long as Reed and Mahomes are still part of it, even though I already had them winning. Anyway, as we are now firmly entrenched in the NFL offseason, we're reminded that offseason doesn't necessarily mean no football. And no, I'm not talking about the UFL. Instead, we're talking about free agency, trades, retirements, and the like, which means, yeah, a lot of quarterback talk. If you're looking for anything about the draft, well, we'll touch a little bit on it, but we're going to be saving that for its own video. First things first, though, I think you've all been waiting for this, haven't you?
Little Butterballs present
A wee butterball.
That's it, Joey.
There are 3 little Butterball turkeys. Buy today, serve tonight.
Lovely, a small turkey.
It's a wee butterball, Auntie.
Your idea, Joey.
'Twas my idea.
Phooey.
Stuffed, breast, or little Butterball from Swiss.
It is not easy for Pedro to accept the fact that my favorite Mexican snack does not come from Mexico.
Mexico.
Tostitos brand, crispy round tortilla chips.
Mexico.
They have an authentic tortilla taste.
Mexico.
In traditional flavor or nacho cheese, they are so thin and crispy, they even sound delicious. Believe me, Pedro, these are Tostitos.
Tostitos. Tostitos brand, an authentic tortilla taste from Frito-Lay.
Denver at Green Bay, Monday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Okay, so obviously there's been a lot that's happened with free agency in this offseason already, which means I'm probably going to wind up missing a few things. Just chalk that up to my head, not my heart, okay? These were just the ones that stuck out the most in my mind. And let's start with the big elephant in the room. Kirk Cousins is now on the Atlanta Falcons. So yeah, I'm definitely of mixed feelings on this. I mean, Kirk Cousins was flourishing with the Vikings, mainly thanks to the likes of Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. But at the same time, he was also starting to get a little long with the tooth. And any type of major deal would have affected the Vikings' ability to sign free agents or retain Justin Jefferson. So it's definitely something that's probably going to be better in the long run. We'll get to some of those free agent signings in a bit. Meanwhile, the Packers signed Josh Jacobs, only to wind up cutting Aaron Jones, leading to 2 hilarious Tom Grossi videos. And of course, Jones immediately then signed with the Vikings at a steep discount, so you know he's pissed. In other news, Russell Wilson was cut by the Broncos and wound up signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a league minimum, which means the Broncos still have to pay $35 million, at least for this season? And of course, that signing of Russell Wilson led to Cody Pickett being traded to the Eagles. We'll get more into that a little bit later. The Raiders hopefully have, gotten their quarterback issues a bit more in line by signing Gardner Minshew, which could be a big blow to the Colts, especially if, say, Richardson gets injured again. In non-quarterback news, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers managed to retain Mike Evans for, I believe, at least a season. And, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs managed to sign Chris Jones to a big-time deal, which means, yeah, they're going to still be a threat now on defense, which was greatly improved last season. The Patriots aren't exactly interested in drafting a quarterback, at least that's what they've been saying, so I don't know exactly where that's going to get into. That would have to be more for the draft video. But obviously Mac Jones is now out of there. He's with Jacksonville as they traded him for virtually nothing. And of course Saquon Barkley is now on the Eagles. Like I said before, this isn't exactly everything involving free agency this time of year, but pretty much this was most of the big ones, or the ones that stuck out most in my mind, so if there is anything I missed, I guess feel free to comment it. Up next, we'll talk about some trades.
Hey, Vic Sinex long acting's amazing.
Lasted you through the days plowing.
More than that. Got me breathing more like my old self again.
Vic Sinex long-acting nasal spray not only lasts up to 10 hours, but clinical tests show it's so effective it can have you breathing like your old self again.
Amazing. Sinex lasted you through the long haul. Oh, more than that. Got me breathing more like my old self again.
Vic Sinex is long-acting. More than that, it can have you breathing like your old self again.
Okay, stand by. Roll Fran Talkington, Johnson Baby Shampoo.
You know, when I wore a football suit, I had to shampoo every day, so I used Johnson's. Now that I'm wearing these, I still use Johnson's every day. Doesn't make sense to use anything harsh. Johnson's cleans gently. Everybody can tell you about no more tears, but I can tell you it won't dry out my hair. Leaves it looking thick and healthy. Get Johnson's Baby Shampoo from Johnson & Johnson. It's gentle enough to use every day.
IBM presents You Make the Call. Bill Kenny of the Chiefs has blitzed and fumbles. The loose ball is recovered by defensive lineman Andre Townsend of the Broncos, who rolls on the ground and into the end zone for an apparent touchdown. Now you make the call. Is it a touchdown?
What is it? It's a UBA.
UBA?
Universal Business Adapter.
What's it do?
It connects anything to everything.
What's this for?
Your laptop, your mainframe, call center, Unix servers, Linux servers, internet, supply chain, payroll system, HR, email.
Slick.
Is it affordable? Fast?
Easy?
Very.
Does it work in Europe?
You need an adapter.
What call did you make? It is legal for the player with the ball to advance by rolling on the ground, as long as he is not contacted by an opponent.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the big off-season trades at this point, and we've kind of already touched a little bit on what happened with Cody Pickett, and to an extent now Justin Fields, as the Bears traded him, which obviously clears the way for Caleb Williams to be drafted. As for Pickett, it is kind of weird in that he didn't want to be a backup to Russell Wilson, but then he's traded to a place where he's going to be a backup. We also talked about Mac Jones a little bit and how the Patriots traded him, and they haven't exactly done much else. They traded for Washington Commanders quarterback Sam Howell, which might be more of a lateral move. I don't know. I don't know if they're necessarily going to be drafting Jayden Daniels or Drake May or anyone else, but we'll save that more for the draft preview, as that'll be the next video, obviously. As for Justin Fields, well, again, I mean, Russell Wilson's probably going to be the starting quarterback, barring injury. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But of course, the big trade that everyone is really talking about is the fact the Buffalo Bills sent Stephon Diggs to the Houston Texans for basically a couple draft picks, and that's about it. I would like to point out that in my Week 1 preview, I basically said that Stephon Diggs was about halfway out the door in Buffalo, so seems I was right on that one. Also, of course, the Texans voided Stephon Diggs' contract, so he's only playing for this year. I mean, if he wants more money, he'll have to really come through this year. So, yeah, definitely you could say the Texans are going all in, at least offensively. And, of course, I would also point out they traded for Vikings defensive end Danielle Hunter, and the Vikings got the draft pick in return, and they could now have capital to trade up to possibly get a QB if the draft, if they so choose. Again, we'll have to save that for the preview. And again, the funny thing is, the pick I think the Texans got back, they then moved to Buffalo. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the pick that the Texans sent to Buffalo. That's what I meant to say. So the funny thing about that, like I said, they're going all in, but it can be hard to say whether or not this is actually going to work. I mean, you obviously still have the defending Super Bowl champion in Kansas City. You have Baltimore, who made the conference championship game. I guess you could say Buffalo is maybe still a threat. Cincinnati, with healed Joe Burrow, is still basically a threat. You have the Chargers, Dolphins, and Jets to a lesser extent, too. So it's not going to be entirely easy. It could be good for Houston, but, I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl just yet. Back to the effect the Justin Fields trade is going to have with the Bears. It does seem like they're building up their offense, signing DeAndre Swift and Keenan Allen. So maybe now they could maybe be more of a threat in the NFC North. And, of course, it's rather obvious that they're drafting Caleb Williams. So, again, hopefully now they'll build a rounded rookie quarterback and actually have them succeed. And, well, that's pretty much it, at least as I've written and recorded this. We'll be back with the next bit to talk about retirements and wrap things up a little.
We're showing Carol that 1 ounce of fortified total has 100% of the recommended daily allowance of these 9 important vitamins plus iron. Carol, what cereal did you have for breakfast?
I had cornflakes.
How do you think 1 ounce of cornflakes will compare with total?
I don't know. Total looks hard to beat.
Let's compare.
Total is a lot higher.
If you want 100% of these 9 vitamins and iron, get total.
That's some difference.
That's the total difference.
Sunday, the Olympics may be over, but 10-speed and brown shoe are roaring back and going for the gold.
Sounds like some hot doughs up in the air could land into the right pockets if you get my drift.
But the competition heats up when everybody gets into the game.
That wasn't personal. This is just business.
And it's tough sledding for 10-speed and brown shoe.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Then, the most important drama of the decade. The 5 days in 1971 when the nation's eyes were on Attica.
Sunday starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on ABC.
Chris Johnson?
Yeah, that's me.
Leave those right there for you.
I ain't trying to see you next week. Hold on.
Now you want to run.
Man, no touchdowns?
What you mean? We still won.
I didn't.
ESPN Fantasy Football. Sign up for free at ESPN.com.
Okay, so we've had some major retirements in this offseason already. Obviously, first and foremost would be the Rams' Aaron Donald, the Eagles' Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey, and the Patriots' special teams ace Matthew Slater. You also had Teddy Bridgewater, Malcolm Butler, and Ryan Jensen. Bridgewater, of course, the quarterback who played for numerous teams, including the Vikings. Malcolm Butler, famous for the interception in Super Bowl 49. Didn't know. I thought he had actually retired at this point. And of course, Ryan Jensen, a longtime lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of that group, obviously, Donald and Jason Kelsey are probably locks for the Hall of Fame, at least on the first couple ballots. Cox might have to wait a bit. He was really good, but sometimes things happen. Matthew Slater should be in the Hall of Fame alongside his Hall of Fame father, Jackie Slater, but given that Steve Tasker still isn't in the Hall of Fame, I don't know if that would happen first or not. By the way, I did start trying to do a Face of the Franchise mode in Madden here, but I ran into some problems. I elected to sign with the Giants. They didn't do the college thing like they've normally done. They didn't quite do the you're a 5-year veteran established thing they did last year either. So anyway, I elected to sign with the Giants. I played like one preseason game and then started to get a whole bunch of this. Anyway, the next Madden video is going to be going over some of the rule changes and a couple of the special games they've already announced for next season, i.e. the international games played, not on U.S. soil is what I'm trying to talk about there. Then the next Madden video will be, of course, the draft preview. And probably in between those, you'll get the random trade review on Punisher Kill Crew. I'm not entirely sure. That might be before or after the draft preview. We'll obviously do a draft review video as well. And X-Men 97 will come out somewhere around that time, too. It might not be until afterwards. I was trying to do a rewatch of the original animated series, and time just got away from me, so I'm probably just going to have to dive right into X-Men 97. I know a little bit of what's been going on. Obviously, something has been spoiled, but I've been trying my best to avoid them. On the plus side, I've gotten some good news about my job, so hopefully things have stabilized here, so there won't be too much changing, but still, things are subject to change if, say, anything gets in the way. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember that you can support my work at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, and ring that notification bell so that way you can be alerted to further videos.